Thank you, hello, and welcome to Talk of the Morning. And on this morning in particular, there's been nothing but talk. The whole of Jerusalem is just buzzing with controversy. Let's look back 24 hours. Jesus of Nazareth, would-be political activist, prophet, charlatan, whatever, found guilty, whipped, mocked, and finally crucified. A shocking travesty, a just end, or something more? My audience this morning is here to talk the matter through, and something tells me we could have fireworks. Let's hope so. My first guest this morning is none other than Caiaphas, chief priest himself, the man most people see as ultimately responsible for this death. So Caiaphas, what's your take on all this?
Oh, my take, as you put it, is simple. It is the position any good person would hold. The man was a blasphemer. His ridiculous pronouncements were a danger to us all. But thankfully now it's all over. It is finished.
Funny you should say that. Weren't those his last words? Who else was there at the end? Ah, of course, Mary. For those of our viewers that don't know, Mary was Jesus' mum. And before we hear your answer, Mary, may I just say how extremely sorry we are to hear of your loss. Yes. Now, his last words.
He had a lot to say. He spoke directly to me. He wanted to make sure that I'd be all right after he'd gone. But he also talked about forgiveness, about hope and a future. And he cried from the pain of being separated from his father.
Blasphemy! Stop her! Stop her talking!
You've had your turn, Caiaphas. We'll come back to you in a moment. What else, Mary?
And he did say it is finished, right at the end, just before he died. Everyone heard him.
And what do you think he meant by that?
I think he meant that his job was done, that there was really nothing to keep us apart from God anymore, and that there was no more need for any sacrifice.
This is outrageous. She's as mad as him. If you don't stop spreading such lies, you will be next. Do you hear me? You will be next.
How do you know they were lies?
The wife of our beloved governor. Pilate wasn't able to make it this morning, matters of state, you know, but his charming wife has kindly stepped in. Good of you to come.
I had a dream, you know, the night before he died. I told my husband, warned him not to kill him. There was something special about him, something godly. I mean, what if my husband was responsible for killing one of the gods?
As I recall, your husband washed his hands of the matter.
Yes, he did. But what does that mean? Surely not doing anything as bad as finding him guilty. If only he had stood up to them. If only he had said no to him. Yes. I can't sleep, you know. I'll never sleep again.
Let's get back to those final words of his. Now, I understand that he spoke to some of the criminals that were executed with him.
That's true. I was there, just feet from the cross, in the blood and the filth. I heard his every word. He promised one of them a place in heaven, in paradise. It was a lovely thing. That thief knew who he was. He knew, like I know, like many of us know.
Don't listen to her. She's a prostitute, an adulterer. She should be stoned, not allowed to spread her filth on TV.
Are you a prostitute?
I was. I was condemned. I nearly died. But he changed all that. Now I follow him. I am his friend.
Don't you mean you were?
No, I do not. I have been to the tomb. I have seen him face to face. He is alive.
Well, that brings us nicely to the talk of resurrection. Your husband posted guards on a dead man's tomb.
That is true.
Why?
Because that idiot fears him even now he is dead.
This is outrageous. She shouldn't be allowed to speak to me like that. She's gone mad.
This from a man who guards a corpse.
Well,
It's just nonsense. Some of his so-called talk of a resurrection. Just won't happen, of course, but they could easily steal away his body, pretend he was alive, and then we'd have this trouble all over again. Better safe than sorry. No one will get past Pilate's guards.
Well, certainly not Jesus. Never met him myself. Wish I had now.
He was a madman, a liar, a deceiver of the people. He claimed to be the Messiah, the Saviour, but he was just a criminal who deserved a criminal's death.
That's just not true. Tell me to my face that he was not the Son of God. And I have stood and talked with angels, while I have given birth while still a virgin, while I have seen him feed the masses, while I have seen him heal the blind, while I have seen him raise the dead, while I have watched over him for 33 years. I knew him, and I tell you now, he was who he said he was. And if he said he'd rise from the dead,
I'm
then
sorry to cut in, Mary. I'm just getting a nod from the producer that we've run out of time. So until next time on Talk of the Morning, goodbye.